Hello. How's everybody? I have no idea where you all came from because when we started playing music, there was five. Maybe y'all just don't like the music. It's like everybody's sneaking in after. Or else you just sleep in late, right? I'm in a series right now called Running on Empty, and it's about dealing with burnout. And I think we deal with burnout in our lives so much because we're overtaxed. We got too many things going on, and we have all of this stuff that we have to get done. How many of you have a have to list? My wife has one for me. Just turn it down, it'll be all right. The have to list is the one where you got to do this, or you got to do that, or you have to have this, or we have to have that. I'm like, what do we really have to have? I mean, our have to list grows sometimes, but I think it overwhelms us. Have you ever noticed that the things that overwhelm us the most are the things that we're not going to do anyway? I mean, it's just the stuff that's hanging out there, right? We take care of the stuff that needs to be taken care of. But I think it's the stuff that we have intentions of taking care of, but we never actually get around to it. Those are the things that pile on us. And I think over time, that leads to burnout. Now, burnout's a bad thing. Do you agree? I think burnout is very dangerous because, first of all, it's a wide open door for huge depression. And once it goes that far, it's extremely, extremely difficult to break out of. Burnout leads us to also withdrawal. Burnout leads us to be angry. Have you guys noticed that when you're burnt out, you're just on edge? Like if somebody says something, it's like, I'm going to kill you. And I'm not joking. I'm going to kill you right now. I told my wife the other day that I was going to stab her with a soldering iron. Because I was one more thing. She came in while I was soldering and I was like in the middle of something. A handy tool. Because it sears it right up so you won't die, but it'll get the point across. No, I'm not serious. Don't ever do that. Don't do that. As we deal with burnout, man, we're frustrated, we're angry, we're on edge, we're short, we're depressed, we're withdrawn. It's not a better way to live. Being overwhelmed and being at the edge of burnout is not a better way to live. Jesus said that he came to give us life in life in abundance, or life to the full, or a more better life. Some of the terms used in the New Testament you'll see is an eternal life. Like eternal, life beyond the limits of time and space. And that's the kind of life that I want. I think that's the kind of life that you want. So we've been talking about what causes burnout and how to kind of deal with it and taking tangible steps to deal with it. Now, I told you guys the first week I was talking about this, we need to establish our priorities, right? Because when you establish your priorities, you set what you're actually going to get done. Okay? This is important. Because if you don't establish your priorities, then life is going to establish them for you. And you're going to work and you're going to work and you're going to work and you're never going to get to anything that is life-giving. But if you establish your own priorities and then you schedule your life off of those priorities and you schedule in what? Rest. How many of you scheduled in rest this week? Man, if you don't schedule in rest, you will get none. I promise you that. If you do not schedule it, you will not get any. And if you do get it, it won't be good rest because it's the kind of rest where you just make it through the door and fall out. Yeah, that's not scheduling rest. That's running out of gas, which my wife has experience with. You know, our girls here at the church, they don't think it's necessary to get gas until it says 0 miles until empty. That's the warning. Like, 0 miles, oh, now I need to get gas. I don't understand. What would you think, when would you think would be a good time to get gas? Quarter tank, maybe 50 miles, 30 miles, 20 miles? When it says no more, don't go any further, get out and walk. That's what we do in our lives. We think we've got all the fuel in the world, and when the gauges come on and the signs start showing themselves and the warning lights start flashing, man, we're good. We can go 50 more miles. But what I found out is you can't. You can't, because, or if you do, nobody wants to go with you. You're no fun, and you're missing out. We're all missing out on life. And I've talked about how to kind of deal with burnout, and it's important, establishing our priorities and setting a schedule, drawing lines in the sand, having deadlines that aren't tangible, not being flexible with the things that are important to you. If you determine that something in your schedule is life-giving and it's important enough to put at the top, then guard it. Guard it. I told you last week one of the most important things I could ever tell you is get a schedule. Why? Because when somebody asks you to do something, you do not answer spontaneously. We all do this. When somebody asks us to do something, we want to be liked, or we don't want them to be mad, or we don't want to let them down, and we say yes because we don't want to say no. We don't like saying no. Now, if you know it's no, go ahead and say no. But if you want to say yes, say this instead: let me check my schedule. Then go check your schedule. And then come back to them and say, I just can't do it. Because when you go check your schedule, then you check your priorities, and then you determine, is this more important than the things I've said as the priorities in my life? Right? Does that make sense? That way we stop saying yes to a bunch of things that are killing us and taking life away from us. Being busy is not next to being godly. Busyness is not next to godliness. Busyness actually doesn't mean you're doing more. It probably means you're doing less. You're probably not accomplishing much when you're just frantically busy. So today I want to talk to you because I don't think we're seeing this burnout as important enough. And today I want to talk to you about something that I believe is extremely, extremely important, and that burnout can hurt very, very badly. I want to talk about our families. Today I'm calling this No Fuel Left for Family. No fuel left for family. And I say family, and I have to explain something. When I say family, I don't mean everybody in your family. How many of you noticed that your extended family can dominate your life? Everybody's got something for you to do. When I say family, I mean the people living under your roof. Now, I need you to understand something else as we adjusted priorities. When you make family a priority, your spouse is the highest priority. Your kids do not rule your house. Your kids do not rule your schedule. Say with me, my kids do not rule my schedule. My kids do not rule my schedule. Your kids are important. They need to be trained and taught and loved and raised. But your spouse is going to be there hopefully long after your kids are gone. And you're stuck with them. And if you make them a low priority now, when your kids are gone, you're going to look at each other and go, who are you? And I don't even like you. It's important. Your spouse has to be priority one. So if you're married, you may call this no fuel left for marriage. If you're not, if you just have kids, then it's no fuel left for family. But either way, it's important to understand that our families are very critical to how to have eternal life, the real life that you're seeking, that you want. Our families are the people that God has placed closest to us, who love us in spite of us. They love us even when we're nasty and mean and angry and want to stab people with solder knives. Their love is sacrificial and unconditional, and that's the type of people we need closest to us. I think about it this way. If there's a book by Carrie Schutz called 30 Days to Live, and it's about what would we do if we knew we had 30 days to live. Would that adjust your priorities? Would you be doing all the stupid crap you're doing? Probably not. There's some things that would be like, are you kidding me? I got 30 days to live, and you want me to do what? You want me to mow the yard? Are you kidding me? If we have a short period of time, then we make the things that are most valuable and really give us life the most important, right? But why don't we live like that? Why don't we live like that? Why don't we live like time is short? You know, I just got out of hospital yesterday. You know what I mean? It seems like the older I get, the faster it goes. Like, there's some of you guys that are pushing it. Don? Half a century, man. And then we get to where we say, and I'm getting to that place where I'm starting to say, if I had only, or I wish I had known then how fast it went. All the dumb, stupid things I did to waste so much of my life. And I don't want us to live that way. I don't want us to live with lives full of regrets. I want us to live life to the fullest and make it a priority of the people that matter the most to us. Our families, our close friends, people are going to support you in the bad times and the good times. People are going to be there for you. We need to share our lives and make these things priorities. And we need to guard them. Because everything I say yes to takes away from the ones that matter the most to me. I want you to write down something if you got a pen. And this is a question I've been pondering. God hit me with a couple of weeks ago, and I've been pondering it a couple of weeks. And the question is this: who's getting my best and who's getting the rest? Who's getting my best and who's getting the rest? And what I found out in my life is that the people that matter the most to me were getting all the leftovers. In my life, I've poured more into people who don't care anything about me. I poured more into the people of this church who have left and are out there talking about me. And I've come home, and to my family, they've gotten the leftovers. And to the people closest to me, I've gotten the leftovers. Who's getting your best? And who's getting what's left? Maybe your job is really important to you. And maybe your job is getting your best, your first fruits. And maybe you're just going at it with everything in you. And then maybe after that, man, you've got Little League or football or whatever else, hobbies, whatever else. And then after that, man, you come in at 9 o'clock at night and you fall out. and you're tired, and you hit the chair, and you kick it back, and you sit there, and you know what I mean, because you're sitting there and you're just going, whoa, 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 whoa. You ever felt like that? I feel like that every Sunday after church. If you come talk to me after church and I'm staring at you, it's because everything's going, whoa, 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 whoa. Because I give my all on Sundays from like 6 in the morning till lunch. And then after that, it's, whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, there's nothing there. And maybe you feel like that. Now, how does that make those who love you the most feel? And look, man, most of us are two or three or four income families. Like, we're having to work 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 jobs in the house to get it going, to keep it going. But are we all coming in with nothing left to give? And what's that doing to the people we love and care for most? Are families falling apart simply because the priority has been dropped below everything else? Are marriages ending just because there's not enough energy to maintain them? How many of you guys have figured out it takes a whole lot of energy to maintain a marriage? It's work. It's work. You have to put forth the effort. Now, it may not be work. The work may not be on the marriage. The work may be protecting the marriage. Protecting the schedule, protecting the time, protecting everything about it. Marriages start falling apart and families start falling apart when they become low priority. And I'll be honest with you, man, I've seen so many marriages and been to that point myself where there was nothing left to give, and the thoughts are, this is just one more thing I don't need. Anybody been there? Anybody ever come home and go, you know what, this is just one more thing I don't need? No, this is the one thing you do need. This is the thing you do need. It's the other things you don't need. Maybe you don't need the third job to buy the extra thing. How many of you guys have noticed that the third job never does pay any money anyway because it's always gone? Like, you never see it. And if you do see it, you ain't got time to do nothing with it. Our families deserve our best. Our wives, our husbands, our kids deserve our best. And you may have enough hours in the day to do everything you need to do, but you come coasting in on fumes. When you leave, the last thing you have to do, the tank says 0 miles till empty. What does that leave when you get home? Some of you, man, you're like me, then you get to go home and you get to cook. And then you hate cooking. And then you hate people for eating. Man, I've turned into a housewife. And I'm like cooking. You didn't tell me you were going to be late. I cook it, now it's cold. Just don't eat it. Eat it, I don't care. I'm going to bed. That's the way it goes. I'm the housewife. Now I get it. I used to like, my mom's crazy. My mom is crazy. She's going off. My daddy's been working. He cuts the slack. Now I get it. I get it. The worst one's when Justice comes home and gripes at me because I didn't cook. Like, I'll kill you too. I'll bury you in the septic tank. You just will be absent the rest of the year. We can't do this. This isn't living. It's not living. Man, living is sharing life and sharing conversation and being intimate with your spouse. It's sharing your hopes and dreams. You know what I found in burnout? You don't have those things. Your hopes and dreams and visions for what you want to be or what you want to do with your life, those things disappear in burnout, don't they? And then all of a sudden, man, there's a word that describes that. It's called hopeless. You're hopeless. And you may could do it for a week or a month or a year or 5 years. But sooner or later, hopelessness sets in and you're just done with it. You don't care about anything. You don't get excited. You don't get happy. You don't get sad. You're just existing. That is not an abundant life. That's not the life Jesus wants for us. That wasn't God's plan. That's not God's plan for your life. God's plan for our lives is that we live, that we love, that we laugh, and that we share life for everything it's for, everything it's got for as long as we possibly can. And when we lose people we love, it hurts. But we can look and say, man, I gave it my all. I have no regrets. I have no regrets. Don't we want to live with no regrets? Don't we want to live where the people that we knew and that we cared for knew that they were a priority with us? See, this is why it's important. This is why running on empty doesn't work. We have to see what it really costs us. It's not that you're tired. I mean, everybody gets tired. It's not just that you're out of energy or that you're melancholy or that you're angry or whatever. It's that you're wasted. You can't go get it back. You can't go get it back. There are some things you can't get back. You can always get money back. You can always make money back. You can always go get another job. You can always get another career. You can always get another house, another car. You can always get more shoes or clothes. You can get more of everything. But you will never, ever, ever, ever get that time back. You will never get your kids when they're that age where they're fun to be around. You don't get those back. We've got to prioritize our lives to where we share life and have enough left, where we give our best to those that we love the most. Who's getting your best? And who's getting the rest? Nobody likes leftovers. I've heard people say, man, I love leftovers. Yeah. If you go to a restaurant, say you go to Donut Shop this morning and you got yesterday's donuts. Do you love leftovers? Now, when you go pay for food, you want the first, right? You want the best, not what's left, right? You don't want the rest. I don't eat leftovers. It's the whole thing with me because they always are casseroles. Like when you're growing up, you don't have any money, everything that's left over turns into a casserole. Hate casseroles. Hate them. Yeah, and I've had your casseroles. That's the first thing anybody said. You hadn't had my casserole. I've had them all. I don't like leftovers. The thing is, you don't like leftovers either, man. We don't like what's left. We don't like the rest. We don't like the part that is extra or on top. We want the good stuff. There's nothing better than a Jerry's pizza straight out of the oven. I mean, crispy, hot cheese, streaming everywhere. Good. Cold, leftover. They're always like, we need to take those leftovers. I'm like, it's not the same. You might as well eat pizza. It's just not the same. Nobody wants leftovers. But listen to me, this is serious. Your spouse doesn't want your leftovers either. They don't want what's left. when you give me your leftovers, you tell me that I'm not that important to you. You tell me you don't love me. When we give our leftovers, that's a sign of the least love. And we tell our kids, I don't love you. We tell our spouse, I don't love you. I love this more than you, or I love that more than you. I love my alone time more than you. I love my out time with the guys or girls more than you. It's not a better way to live. You know, to me, there's no coincidence that back in the Beaver to Cleaver days, Beaver Cleaver, black and white days, that came home at 5 o'clock, family sat down, ate, shared life together. And marriages stayed together and families stayed together. But as we've gotten busier and busier and busier and busier, there's just no room left, and we prioritized our families right out of our lives. It's not a coincidence that us not spending the time together has led to more and more failed marriages. And it's going to get worse. It's not ever going to get better. If we don't make time and set priorities, the busier we get, the more families are going to fall apart. The busier we get, the more marriages are going to fail. The busier we get, the more abandoned our children are going to be. We don't want that kind of life, do we? For the best for your family, the best for your marriage, schedule and prioritize, and don't leave the leftovers for the ones that matter most. Sound good? All right. You guys will stand with me. I want to pray for you.